Hi. Hi, guys. How is everybody doing today? I have my laptop next to me and I am checking to make sure we're fully connected. If you're here, please say hello. Oh, I just got a heart. Wonderful. I got a heart and I know that I'm live. Can you hear me too? I can see me now. Can you hear me? Okay, I'm just going to give 1 minute for Facebook to go let everybody know that I'm here. Hi, I'm here. Come to my party. And I will give you a second to grab your coffee. If you need a coffee, I have a cappuccino. Actually, it's cortado. How many cortado drinkers do I have? Hi, G. Hi, David. Thanks for being here. And I will just say this as people are coming on, make sure that if you're not here live and you're watching the replay, that you comment in the show when you're watching, because I will be back to chat if you can't make it right now, because life can be crazy like that. You can hear me. Have a great show. Thank you. Hi, G. Hi. Okay, so I say we get started. Hey everybody, welcome to the Patty Rose Show. I am Patty Rose and I am on a mission to inspire, motivate, and empower you to live your best life and to build a business of your dreams. And I want to say that I actually still do believe that dreams come true, and mostly because they can and they have in my life many times. And I'm going to share a lot of those dream come true inspirational stories with you throughout the episodes. But for today, this is episode 2 of the empowerment series, my kickoff empowerment series. And I want to talk with you about how we show up consistently and how that affects our confidence. I also want to talk about how compare that consistency to perseverance. So I want to start with this. I really think that multi-passionate creatives, multi-passionate entrepreneurs and creative entrepreneurs get a little bit of a misunderstood, right? Like, I think they're misunderstood. I'm going to say we are misunderstood, because I am one of them. One of you, and there's a bit of a like mislabeling or a bad rap, right, for people when they're sometimes considered maybe flighty or inconsistent or non-committal. And here's the thing: none of that is true. I'm going to say it again. None of that is true. If you have any of those insecurities about those misunderstandings and mislabels because that's who you are, none of it's true. And I'm going to take the next few minutes during the show to prove to you why I believe that's so. Okay, so what if, humor me for a minute, what if you could truly, truly trust yourself, your inner drive, your inner passions? What if you could trust that all of the many things that you like to explore and dabble and try out and experiment and explore, all were coming together to lead you on the path of purpose to your zone of genius, like the thing, the culmination? What if that could be true versus the consideration of what other people who may not understand you might think? So, have you ever really thought of what it takes to be a multi-passionate entrepreneur? Like, what it takes to be a creative that way? It takes perseverance, it takes courage, it takes grit, it takes long commitment, it takes so much. And there's also the overcoming judgment, overcoming people's thoughts of you, and there's so much in that. There's so much that if that's who you are, I want you to just take a moment to go, it's okay. Like, these are really, really beautiful qualities. And what if, instead of being fearful of what the norm or the status quo thinking is, that you honor and respect for yourself the uniqueness and beauty of all of those characteristics that you have. So what's most required is that you prove to yourself that you are not those things. You have to prove to yourself all of these self-beliefs, right? So you have to prove to yourself that what other people say have no business in your creative process. And I'm not saying that other people's thoughts and other people's consult is not valuable, because it is. It's very, very important to get a broad range and to have trusted people that you can go to. But you have to, the most important thing is that you have to balance it, right? And weigh it out against or aligned with what's most important to you. I'm going to tell you a story about what this means and why I'm so passionate about this. So this thing happened to me, I think, you guys, it must have been like 15 years ago. And, but it was significant. Like, it was significant, and it stuck with me for a long time until I did the exercise I'm going to share with you today. Because, you know, I love to give you actionable items that you can do right away to make changes and positive changes in your life. So I'm going to give you this exercise today that's 3 parts. But I want to tell you first that it was literally life-changing for me when I did this exercise. And I'm not exaggerating. It changed my belief system about myself, and I'm going to tell you how that happened. So the first thing is, this person who I will call well-meaning, right? Someone who cared about me, someone who, when I think back to it, I really think this person felt they were providing some tough love, right? They were giving me, you know, what I needed to hear. The problem is that the comment made, it was a comment made about my level of consistency, or shall I say lack thereof. It was a negative one-liner. It stung like a bee. It was a zinger. And it came during a time that I was already feeling a bit insecure about things. And I was just having a challenging time in my life. So something happened that there was enough insecurity in that moment in my life that this person, who I valued their opinion and trusted them, and they appeared to have more success than me at the time, I allowed the value of their words to be more important than the value of what I knew to be true inside. And those words seeped in, and they took residence in my being. It's a little bit like we talked about last week with discouragement, like, don't give it a place to live. This thing just kind of latched on, and it took a little spot within my being, and it lasted for a long time. It was there because it became my own self-belief. And so the very first part of this exercise that I'm going to ask you to do right now is to think about a negative belief you have about yourself. So something that you would like to change. And it could be something that someone else said to you that you took on, like I did, right? It could be a circumstance or maybe a situation that happened that happened to you that stuck, right? So this may take a while, but you might have something off the top that just hits you and be like, oh yeah, I really don't like this belief, and you know, I'd rather not feel this way. And if you have something like that and you're comfortable sharing it, pop it in the comments. I'd love to, you know, support you on that. But if if you think about this, just it may need a little more time, but just know that I totally encourage that after the show that you give these 3 parts of this exercise, really like sit down with it at some point and honor the truth that can come out from it. So once you have that negative belief, let me check in real quick. Hi guys. I see there's comments. Oh my gosh, I love what you just said. Helen writes, who has been told to get a real job? Okay, I love that. That's exactly it, right? Been told to get a real job when you're an entrepreneur and you're moving mountains in life. So let me see here. A cortado is a very double shot of, well, I do a double shot of espresso. Espresso with just like a cappuccino has this much milk. A cortado has a very, very little bit of milk and steamed foam. It's kind of like along the lines of a macchiato. I think you spelled it right, C-O-R-T-A-D-O. I think that's correct. So, okay, so I'm gonna go back to the content. Is everybody resonating with this content? Is it making sense that this thing about consistency? You know what? I have a pet peeve. I'm just going to go off script for a second and tell you my pet peeve. The pet peeve is a lot of people who are talking about consistency, and I want to be very careful because I know that consistency is important. Consistency is important some ways, but when people are making you feel badly in your business about the way you are being consistent, or if you're not being consistent enough, they're usually selling a service. There. So I'm just going to put this one out there. There's a social media platform that now, it's Instagram, right? Instagram now recommends, I think, that you do 10 reels a day. If you love doing reels, absolutely go do 10, do more than 10, enjoy it, make it be your thing. But if you don't do reels and it makes you feel badly about yourself that you're not doing reels, that to me is where I have a problem. And that is why I think it's so important to understand the belief and understand the path you're on. And so I want to talk a little bit about consistency versus perseverance. So for purposes of this show today, the way I see it is your consistency is to continually show up with small actions daily, right? Consistently doing the same thing, routine, right? Routine. Whereas perseverance is the long haul. Perseverance is when you keep continually going back to do something, and the definition even says in spite of, even against, in spite of and against hardship, challenge, and discouragement. So, you know, as a multi-passionate or a creative person, you're going to find ways to go around the blocks. You might go this way today and that way tomorrow and this way the next day, but you're still working toward the big picture. So that's how I see perseverance is the big picture, and the consistency is the little stepping stones that are part of the big picture. And just to tell you about last week when we talked about discouragement, I think this is a really, really amazing opportunity to go back into that exercise, look at your top 3, right? Look at your top 3 and determine if you can connect the dots, right? Can you connect the dots of the top 3 on your list that either with consistency or more likely with persistence? So you might have an idea on your list, but you might be able to look back. It's not going to be a direct line from A to B. You might be able to look at it and say, you know what, I did 17 things over the last 4 years that seemingly were not aligned, but they all took me to this place that I can now do this thing. And that's perseverance. So, oh, by the way, if you were not part of the show last week, we'll pop the link in the comments. and you can grab the training and the printable worksheet. We had so much fun. It was called the Inspiration Vault, and you will totally love it. It's pattyrose.com/goodies, but don't go there now because we have really important stuff to talk about right now. I'm going to put the link, and you can go there later, and you can become part of my goodies group, which I'm going to explain in a little while. So, what about the idea that we're continually persevering towards something amazing, right? Towards something, it's like you don't even maybe know you're persevering towards something. And then you can become aware and take consistent action with that. When you put those things together, you can really build confidence, right? And confidence is totally a game changer and a deterrent from discouragement. Confidence, building your own confidence is like, discouragement doesn't have much of a way to get in. So I'm gonna give you a big picture view of how this happened in my life. Okay, this is an example of perseverance. So I was, I think 8, I might have been 10. I was with my parents, and my younger sister Liz, and we were at a Catskills resort. My dad was the president of the board of gas dealers, and we were at this convention that we went to every year, and we were at these little tables in the theater, right in the front row, watching the performance. And I was mesmerized. Oh my gosh, the lead dancer was just incredible and beautiful and dynamic, and I was this little girl with probably my chin in my lap going, Mom, I want to do that. I want to do that. That's what I want to do. And it was the first thing. Like, I had never had any dance experience prior to that. I was just watching this performance on stage. So nothing happened. Nothing happened for a long time. Flash forward to when I'm 16, and I go to the movies, and this is going to totally date me, but I went to the movies with my sister Sue, and it was the movie Flashdance. And I came out of the movies like, oh my God, that was so much fun. I want to dance. I was like moving in the parking lot, and my sister said, well, so why don't you take a dance class? And I was like, bing, 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 bing. So I took my first dance class at 16 and fell absolutely in love. I actually started teaching dance at 19. So I only took classes for 3 years, and I started my teaching career. Then in my early 20s, I had my first ballroom dance partner, and he used to get us performance gigs, right? So we go to the place where we're performing. It's a very early, they let us in early for an early afternoon rehearsal on the stage so we could kind of space out or block our choreography. And the theater was dark. And then all of a sudden somebody put the lights on for us, and the house lights came up, and I'm on this stage, and I'm in my early 20s, and I look out at the audience, and I almost feel like I could get emotional telling you the story, because I looked out and I saw that little girl at that red round table. It was the exact same resort. It was the exact same place. I was on the stage where I fell in love with dance for the first time, like 10 to 15 years prior. So there's two things about this story. One is, you want to talk about dreams coming true. That's a real life dream come true. That was like a moment in my life where I went, like I just had the whole thing swirl through my entire body, right? And the second thing about that is this: it had nothing to do with being inconsistent or being non-committal or being flighty. Nothing. What it had to do with was persevering and continually driving toward the thing that I loved. Nothing to do with any of those things that person told me all those years prior. Well, it was after, but that I believed. So the thing is, I'm going to take a second to collect myself. That's a story that really makes me feel moved. So I'm going to say hello to everybody in the comments for a minute. You know something I got to look here. Okay. Perseverance, being in it for the long haul in spite of hardship or challenges or discouragement. Exactly, Helen. Oh, goosebumps. Yes, thank you. I see all these lovely comments. You guys are amazing. Thank you for playing in full with me here today. So the thing is that happened because I want to explain this little thing. The reason I say it's perseverance and not consistency is because I did not go take the same exact ballet class every single day for 10 years. I mean, for many of those years, I didn't dance at all. I was a kid. I was a kid playing in the backyard, you know, watching Farrah Fawcett and Charlie's Angels. And then when I did start dancing, I took ballroom and Latin and jazz and ballet and creative movement for kids. And I became a personal trainer and I studied movement. And I just kept going toward the thing I loved. There was no real set routine that I had to do every single minute, every single day. And that's the thing that I think is just so important, that you know and own for yourself in the process. Yeah, we're going to be consistent. The truth of the matter is, if you continually keep the lighthouse beacon light on what is big picture, and trust that your drive and your inner passions will lead you to the path of your zone of genius, and combine that with the consistency of the things that you know how to do, to show up, to be of value to people, to show up with what's important for you in your life, and to honor yourself. That is where the gold happens. That is where the confidence comes in, when you can be aware of both and combine them. But, you know, this whole thing for me today is that I don't want you to allow other people to create this poor judgment about you and who you are. That's what this is all about today. I do have more to say, but that is really what this is all about today. So, part two. Part two is proving the negative belief wrong. Okay, so if you're, here's how I like to do this. You're sitting on the couch with your best friend, and she says something about herself that's a negative belief that you know to be untrue, right? You know it's not true. So you listen to her, but you know it's like BS. It's like, wait a minute, but what do you say to her? You say, but no, but you do this and you do that, and I see you do this all the time, and these people over there, they were just talking about the other day the way you did that, XYZ, and what you're basically doing for her is proving her wrong. So you can take a pen and paper and prove this self wrong for yourself, but if you need to, show up as your best friend, because we'll always do for our best friends immediately, without thought, unconditionally, sometimes a lot easier than we'll do for ourselves, right? So if you need to, you list out these things as your best friend, proving this negative belief wrong. And then I want to tell you, this is where I was saying that this part of this exercise, I literally journaled 3 pages, like pages. And so it was life-changing when I did it. And I'm going to give you some examples. But the third part of it is that you build a new perspective. So tell me in the comments if this line resonates, if you remember this. Oh, Captain, my Captain. And I will tell you this, it's a movie, it's not the famous poem. Oh, Captain, my Captain. It was a movie called The Dead Poets Society with Robin Williams. I've been holding this and not drinking. Oh, I just need one more. I forgot to drink. I'm talking a lot today, you guys. So, the Dead Poets Society, this professor who teaches his students to look at things from a different perspective, to take a different angle and to have a different approach to the way they think and learn. So, so this movie was really, really impactful for me when I saw it. And if you hadn't seen it, I totally recommend it. I don't know if I'm going to see, have any of you seen this? So at the very, very end, all of his students do this act of tribute to their professor and show that they stand on the desk. So if you think that standing here is one perspective and standing on the desk is a whole nother view, it's a whole nother angle. So I think that having a new perspective or taking a step back, changing the way that you're looking at something can give you a new reframe. So that's this last part of the exercise, is to do a reframe statement. And I'm going to give you some examples. So a negative belief may be, for this particular topic, I don't stick to anything and I'm inconsistent. Proving that wrong, so I could pull off the top some of the things out of the 3 pages. Happily married, quit smoking X thousand years ago as a non-smoker, now completely committed to friendships of many decades, completely always seeking personal development and self-growth and spiritual growth, completely committed to family in a way that is unshakable. These things are consistent throughout my entire life. Ran a dance and fitness business for several decades. Consistency, right? Again, there's no room for that negative belief there because, well, I kind of just proved it wrong. I kind of just proved that I show up and do all the things that are important to me and the other people that I love and care about. And what else is life really about, right? Showing up for the people and the things that are important to you and the people you love. And that, to me, business is right in there. Like I don't get to separate personal and business. I think it's all in here. So to me, that's all the same. So the reframe can be something like, I consistently am committed to showing up and providing value for my family, for the people I love, for the things I love, for my clients, for my business. I consistently do the things that are important in life. Like anything to reframe it, because once you prove it wrong, your body can't go back to having that belief. You just need to replace it. Just give it a new belief to have, and then I would so love to see in the comments if this worked for you. If you were able to process any of it here while on the show, or you may need time to go and really give it some time and energy. I'm going to check in and see what we got. Yes, great movie, Dead Poet Society, David. Geraldine says, follow your bliss and doors open where there were only walls. Joseph Campbell. Ooh, that's a good one. Helen says, totally empowering movie. I think I'll plan to see it again real soon. I was thinking the same thing. We just need to get together soon so that we can watch it together. And Helen says, we will and can find proof for whatever we believe. We need to watch and control what we believe. Absolutely. Absolutely. So I want to remind you that you can go and get the printable and the training from last week, but I want to tell you that I've developed it even further, and I want to invite you to my Goodies group. So the Goodies group is going to be a community of people who love this content, who love to learn, and you're going to get all of the fun stuff that I create within and around the episodes. Also, I have a super exciting webinar coming up on what is this month? August 4th, and I am going to be sharing the details to my goodies group. So go to pattyrose.com/goodies, GOODIES, and make sure that you join so that you can continually get all of the goodies I'm going to share with the goodies group. And, I'm going to do empowering, inspirational and motivational bonuses and trainings and fun things just for my goodies group, because who doesn't love a goodies bag when you come to a party? So my show is wanted to feel like a training and a networking event and a party and a dance party and hello multi-passionate creative who wants to do all the things. That's what we're going to do in the goodies group and on my Patty Rose shows. So I hope you'll go to pattyrose.com/goodies and become part of my goodies group community. And I will show you all kinds of really cool stuff there. So I wonder if you have any questions. I'm going to check in on the chat again. And, we could just take a minute to talk over these things. Do you have any thoughts or questions before I go? And I will say this while you're gathering your thoughts or maybe typing, that next week, right here, 4 p.m. Eastern, and I'm going to talk with you about putting action behind your ideas so that they can become monetized, right? So that you can use them to grow your business and make money. So we're going to go deep into that next week, which is super fun and super exciting, and I hope I'll see you then. So let me check in. And David says, analyze the reality and see the negative judgments aren't true. Yes, exactly, David. And, I have to say that writing, I prefer I do both. I do type out journal and I also longhand journal. And I think the longhand journal, there's something about the process that I think literally is physiological. It's the hand motion, the thoughts, the body. I think I'll do some research on that. I'm so interested to know if that's been studied. Does anybody know if that's been studied? Helen says, cool. We are all here for the Patty Rose Show party. Woo, woo. David said, great show on an important topic. Don't let the naysayers get you down. Absolutely. Yes, Helen, the episode 3 of this 4-week empowerment series will be a week from today on Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern, right here on my personal Facebook page. And I am looking forward to it. So I am going to say thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you for coming to my Patty Rose Show party. And I hope this was valuable to you. I really know that when I did this exercise, I'm not exaggerating when I say it was life-changing. It literally changed the belief, and in understanding and reframing my belief, I was able to build a new confidence, and that confidence can go so far in the productivity and the creativity that you have and the way you show up in life and in business. So I hope this was helpful to you. I would love to ask for one last burst of hearts because I love getting the burst of hearts. And there they go. Yes. Geraldine says, has been, and your writing is different and better. Yeah, G, it is, right? I think the emotional connection is deeper. Oh, there's all those hearts. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Hearts and likes. I just love it. All right. Thank you, guys. I hope you have an amazing rest of the week and weekend. And I will see you right here next week on Thursday for the Patty Rose Show.